Hi there, Michael here for Info Exchange. In this short video, I'm going to take a really quick tour through the Red Cross Get Prepared app. I hope from just having a look at what it can do, you'll get a good idea of how it's useful to you and give it a go yourself. Alright, let's go to my phone now and have a look at the app.
To get started, I just select the app. It's going to open it up. And when you land on the first few pages of the app, what it does is it shows you a little bit of information of the three key features in this app, and I'll show you through them basically now. The first one is that you can add key people that provide support to you in an emergency or you'd contact. Now, what that app can do, because you're on your phone, is it connects directly in with the contacts that are set up in your phone, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. The second key feature is it lets you complete the basics of an emergency plan, and that's going to step you through a couple of questions, think about where you're going to meet, and it keeps all that information in one spot. This is very useful, as emergency service experts like the CFA would advise that taking that time to really think about key parts of your plan and getting it down somewhere is really important. Chances are you've probably already got a good idea in your head of what you might do, but having it recorded in this app is an important thing and a key feature of the app itself. We go one more time. The third key feature is that you can share your plan with family and friends. So once you've done it, once you've made this plan and you've got some details down and some thoughts, you can print it out, and you can also share or export it, so you can get it to other people and they can see what you've done. Now, not only does this give peace of mind to family and friends, if you're in the same area, you may coordinate what your plan is and you may have a similar meeting place. So it's useful to share your plan as well. All right, once you've got a sense of what the app can do, you can click on this button here to get started. Now, throughout the app, anywhere you see a red button with white text that's underlined, that's an indicator of a button. So you'll know that you can select that and something in the app will happen. So let's just select it now. We'll get started. It asks whether you're ready to go. It's going to answer a few questions and get you set up. So when you're ready to start putting in details, just select Let's Go. The first thing it asks you then is your awareness of the hazards that affect you in your area. So I imagine for many people it's going to be things like bushfires and floods, but there's also cyclones, storms, some other emergencies and hazards that can happen in your area. So just select those. The next thing you need to think about is who you need to consider in an emergency. So when this is particularly about evacuating or other conditions of an emergency, who is somebody you need to think about and consider. You can choose as many of these as are related to your particular situation. For me, I'm going to do my partner, and I would need to think about my pets as well. The next thing you need to think about is who you would turn to in an emergency. And this is going to tap into the contacts on your phone. It's going to draw on information you've already got in here. So you can say, I don't know, if you haven't thought about it yet. You can come back and change this later. But for me, I'm going to think about clicking on this plus symbol. It's going to ask then to access my contacts, which I'm happy for it to do. They're just information I've saved in my phone. It's not sharing them with anybody else. Select OK, and it brings up in alphabetical order everyone I've saved as a contact in my phone. So I'm going to put in my partner, and you'll see it immediately populates this section with her details, so I don't have to fill anything out. If you needed to, you could fill it out as well. But the other thing you can do at this point is let them know, and this would send them a notification that you've saved them in this app. I'm not going to do that for now. Have a think about whether you do that. You might want to just physically tell them. But from here, you can go next. And another really great feature of this phone is it's going to customize the emergency contacts in your phone to the area you're in. So all you've got to do for that to happen is put in your postcode. So wherever you are in Australia, it's going to draw down emergency contact lists. So you can see I'm in Victoria, so it's pulled in Victorian contacts. It's also given a link to the Vic Emergency app. So if there's other apps or digital tools in your area that are useful, it's going to give you a link to those, and it's going to give you the national numbers as well. And also, another great feature is it gives you the particular Twitter or social media feeds of particular services in your area. So this has given me the ABC, it's given me Vic Police, the Bureau of Meteorology, which will give to everybody nationally, and a few other services. So this is really useful as well. Like, these will now be in my contact list, so I can access them from my phone from this app. So I'll go save and continue for that. And now that's going to save all of those details in my phone in this app. Now, the next step there, we're like almost half done in setting things up. It's quick and it's easy, as you can see. The next thing though is completing the basics, and this is kind of the basics of your plan. So I'm going to just show you, for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to go explore the app. I'm not going to fill it out now, but if it was you, you'd be able to fill out some of these details. So if we explore the app, it's going to show me down here from this home screen, you've got some information. So this is some really useful information, little mini lessons on what you need to do in a disaster or an emergency. So it talks about how you connect with people, how you kind of prepare yourself mentally, the things you need to get organised, what you would pack for an evacuation, an emergency kit, and a little bit of other stuff about context and things you need to know. Next to that, on the bottom right, is actually the details of the app. You can add your name in here. These achievements are things that when you've finished going through some details, you'll get a little badge here. This just helps show you that you're completing parts of the app. It'll have my 3 contacts here. I've only added 1, so you can choose now to go and add the other 2. Another key feature is adding on a map a meeting point. So this is really useful to share with other people. If you're going to want to meet with other people in the neighbourhood, or where you're going to go in an emergency, you can put that in the app here, and there's a little more information on who to consider. And as you can see here, it's got your emergency contacts and those links you can go to. I'll show you going to one of them now. It opens up. See, I've been able to open up the Vic Police app here. So it's going to open that up on your phone. You just have to click done to get back out of that. And you'll see also on the side here, there's a little more information about your key 3 contacts. So you can use these 3 buttons down the bottom here to go through. So in an emergency, rather than searching around for details or contacts, you can go straight to this app and it's going to save these details. You'll also, these 3 dots on the far right of this bottom menu also have some information around the app itself. If you just want to get some information about the details, and there's a website for this app as well as a website for Red Cross. What I might show you now though is if I go out of this app and go back into it, you'll see that those details are saved. So now in an emergency, if I wanted to get any information that I've saved here, so particularly useful is those contacts. So it's a very easy way to have everything in one place, and I think that's the main feature of the app, where you may have this information on different devices and written down in different places, or you may, in an emergency, you might want to try and search it if you haven't got it saved. One of the key value points of this app is that it's all here for you, so all you need to do is go to that app to get those details. So even if the electricity's out, if other things aren't working, if your internet's down, some of these details you're going to be able to get to. And that's a very important thing when things are happening very quickly. So that's basically the Emergency Services app. I'd encourage you to take the time to get in there and have a look yourself. It's a very well built app. You can't break it. It's not public on the internet for anything. So I think the best way to really get in and learn these things is to give it a go yourself. Download it, give it a try, even get some of the details down. That value of actually taking the time and thinking about some of these key questions the app asks you, it's really valuable, right? As a very valuable part of disaster preparedness. So I hope that was useful for you. As I say, again, get in there and try it out for yourself, and I hope you'll give this app a go. It's a very, very good app for you to use for disasters and emergencies. Thank you very much.